Cairo, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time of day it is when you hear this message, I pray that your mind, your heart, and your spirit are all poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. You know, this morning I saw two really fascinating things come across my my newsfeed on social media. One of which was a CIA ad, the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA. They have an ad that's being floated around of this woman. She calls herself a lot of different things, right? All the buzzwords, everything you could imagine right now. She's Latina, she's some kind of some sort of a gender identifier. She's an immigrant. She's a first generation. She's a Spanish speaker. All the buzzwords are there. All the buzzwords are there. But what she's talking about with her power to the people rhetoric is being an agent for the CIA. Okay. And I thought that's interesting, right? Because all the language that she's using is like this. I wouldn't call it a revolutionary, but it's real grassroots and, like I said, power to the people. But trust and believe that she's a white supremacist. Anything that is perceived to be counteractive or contradictory to the white power structure, they're going to send her in there to infiltrate, gather data, disrupt, and dismantle anything that is going to interrupt the power structure as it is, which is white supremacist. And I thought, wow, that's really blatant. And I wonder how many people are going to go for it. How many people are going to be totally manipulated by the fact that she is visually an oppressed person, and she's espousing this rhetoric that, for lack of better terms, is community based. You know, it's about freedom. It's about the upliftment of the oppressed and liberating the disadvantaged and stuff like that. But I wonder how many people are really going to catch that this is propaganda. And then the other thing that I saw come across my news feed like over and over again were a couple of different pictures of a brother that you may or may not have heard of. His name is Kevin Samuels. Now, Kevin Samuels, I learned about Kevin Samuels probably a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago. And one of his claims to fame is coaching, I would say, coaching high-powered men, high-value men that he calls them. So he's prominent on YouTube. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But I think he started to become popular because women got wind of it, or certain women got wind of it, and it started to get shared in different circles. But my introduction to Kevin Samuels was like, it was pretty much a guy talking to other guys. And then other women would chime in and find out, well, how do I get in on this conversation? Because these are the kind of guys I want to cozy up to. But what's been shared lately has been a couple of pictures of Kevin Samuels, and where he looks very effeminate. And the people sharing the pictures are saying that Kevin Samuels is gay. So since he's gay, that disqualifies him as any kind of a subject matter expert as it pertains to men and women. And you know, as I would do, I'll read the thread. But you know, my thought was the same as when I was watching the CIA video. I wonder how many people are going to be able to make the distinction between whether or not you think that Kevin Samuels is gay based on a picture of him, just looking. I mean, he does look effeminate. The way his hair cut, he's really well groomed and all that. But are people going to actually take that image and that commentary and run with it, and they're going to allow themselves to be manipulated by that, or are they going to actually hear what Kevin Samuels talks about? Are they going to, even in the comment thread, ask questions about what does his person actually do and what does he say, and what is the logic that links whether or not you think he's gay and what he's talking about? Like, do they really relate to one another? And so the reason why these things matter to me, not because, we're going to do anything about the CIA, and not because Kevin Samuels is anything other than a guy who has a popular YouTube channel. The real reason why I'm bringing this up is because within the ranks of Orisha devotees around the world, we have a really powerful tool that's supposed to save us from all this. We have something that we have as a resource that is built into, is integral to everything that we do, that is meant to free our minds from these kinds of distractions and not have us caught up on these different kinds of fallacies and low-level gimmicks to manipulate our minds and our thinking. And that tool is, of course, Ifa divination. And so when you belong to a spiritual community, you are supposed to be exposed to what we call the Itadogun, right? Of course, you have your individual reading you can go in for a reading at will. You have a problem, you have an opportunity, you get consultation, and Ifa will guide you on how to make decisions regarding your opportunity or your problem. But we have a collective divination also. If you're a part of a temple, you live in a certain kingdom, you're a part of a group, there will be what we call an Itadogun. And the Itadogun is a 16-day divination. Every 16 days, you call together the Babalawo. They will cast Ifa for the group, and Ifa will give a diagnosis and a prognosis about what's happening, what's at play, what the high priorities are, what we should do, what we should not do. Okay. And divination is, like I said, it ought to create a manipulation free zone wherein you will be cautious and on the lookout for distractions, right? Things are not what they appear to be, right? If we look at the videos I was alluding to earlier, here's someone who's presenting themselves as one thing, but in reality, there's something else. Divination should give you those kinds of insights for a group of people. Divination should put you on the lookout for, hey, there's going to be a time where people are going to falsely accuse another member of your society. There's going to be someone who people are going to try to stick something to that doesn't belong to him or it doesn't belong to her. Be on the lookout, right? Don't allow yourself to be caught up in gossip and lying and backbiting and all these things that create so much division and so much confusion in a group that it causes a group to ultimately stagnate, wither, and die. Okay? Now, I do belong to such a group, right? I am the hub. I lead a spiritual community, and we perform the Itadogun every 16 days. And so if you don't know, I'm referring to the Orisha Lifestyle Academy, and myself, I am the instructor, the lead instructor, the founder of the academy, Obafemi Origuwa. And what I want to do is just share with you a little bit about the most recent sequence of Odu Ifa, for example, that has come through, and the ways in which Ifa is guiding our thought process and guiding our interaction with one another. We had one consultation about a month ago, wherein Ifa gave us an Odu that advised us to really be discerning about who we hang out with. Who there's somebody who, on a interpersonal level that you're close to, you've been working with, but you need to create some different boundaries between yourself and that person. And when you create these boundaries, it's not bridge burning. You're not severing ties, but you're creating different boundaries. And when you do that, the other person is going to benefit. They're going to be optimized. They're going to be doing better work. They're going to be in a better place. And you yourself will also benefit. You're going to be optimized, and you're going to get a greater blessing by creating these boundaries between yourself and this other person who you work with very closely. Right? And then, so we had to go through the process of discerning within ourselves as individuals. Hey, who is this? Well, not knowing what Ifa was going to say next. We just had to look at the moment and understand that in this moment, Ifa is telling me I need to set some different kinds of boundaries with people, and I need to be clear about who that is and do it in a way that, like I said, it's not about bridge burning. It's not about severing ties. This is not about fighting people and cutting people off. It's about setting proper boundaries. Step 1. The next verse that came for us in the subsequent Itadogun was talking about indispensability. And Ifa gave us insights into a particular person who we work with, who we're close to, who is instrumental to our success. Okay? So once, in the first of the series that I mentioned, it's boundary setting, getting clear. Now I can see clearly. I don't have the distraction of this other person. Let me focus on the one who is actually going to be indispensable to my success. Who is the person that is actually helping me accomplish the things that I would want to accomplish? Who is indispensable to my success? Who's indispensable to my progress? Who's indispensable to my fulfillment? Let me get clear about that, and let me recognize that person. So it's shifting my focus. Okay, when you look at those first two Odu, Ifa is advising everyone within the group to shift our focus from distractions onto the indispensable ones to really help things work for us. Then in the third in the series that I'm going to talk about is Ifa giving us the insight into the combination of a shared origin, shared history, shared ancestry, and being able to ascend to the throne of destiny. That is, being able to cultivate and capitalize on the fact that here we have a group of people who have something in common. They have a common root, okay, and they need to draw upon that common root with the understanding that they're all going to branch out and create their own particular domain. They're going to become great and powerful in their own right, but it's going to be based on this shared history, this shared origin, right? So if we take the first three, we're looking at Ifa having us set proper boundaries, having us focus on the indispensable folks in our circle, and then drawing upon our common ancestry and our shared experience to build a space wherein we can achieve personal greatness. Okay? And then in the most recent Itadogun, Ifa gave us another message about the importance of collaborating, but collaborating in a process that unfolds methodically, logically, and in steps. And Ifa tells the story of growing, creating something, establishing it, cultivating it, allowing it to really reach its own allowing it to fulfill each of its needs at every developmental stage. So the idea is that just as an individual has stages of personal development, a group also has stages of development. A civilization goes through stages of development, and at every stage there are certain obligations, and you need people to lead the group at different stages to accomplish different things. And if you can accomplish that in its proper, in the proper steps, then your community will flourish and will enjoy eternal glory. It will become a thing of legacy. Okay? And so just this sequence, that's just 4 Odu that have manifested for our community over about a 2-month period. Okay? So imagine the kind of focus and kind of clarity you get when you really pay attention to divination within a group over years and years and years. You get to appreciate not only the beauty and the wisdom of the message, but you actually see that message manifest in the personal lives of the members and the group as a whole, which is what we're seeing. And as you enjoy that kind of affirmation that comes from the wisdom of Ifa, this is how it makes you free. This is how Ifa liberates you from being distracted by gossip. I don't understand how people who are Ifa devotees and have access to Itadogun, collective divination. I don't know how those same people can be caught up with gossip. I don't know how those same people can be just so distracted by every shiny object that is thrown before them to say, pay attention to this. This is no good. These people are all crooks. I don't understand. Where you have Ifa guiding you. You have Ifa directing you. You have Ifa pointing out for you the framework for success and for excellence, and where to cut out the flim-flam and where to filter out all of the the riffraff. And so it's interesting for me, but I am thankful that the call is being answered. I'm always letting people know I'm looking for leaders. I'm seeking for people who want to change the world through positive influence. And I'm thankful that there's so many people who are responding to the call, and they're joining us within the Orisha Lifestyle Academy. And together we're doing what we can in our respective areas of influence to apply the wisdom and the compassion of Ifa to our everyday lives. And so if you are one of those people and you also believe in yourself and you believe in a cause, or you believe in certain people, or you even want to be associated with, and you want to have a place to focus and develop a commitment to something greater than yourself, then I invite you to visit us at orishalifestyle.com or obafemio.com and peruse the materials that I'm offering there. Look over the courses, read the blog, subscribe to the YouTube channel and get access to the videos. Join the school, take a course, and start taking those steps to free your mind from manipulation, to free your attention from being distracted by very trivial and inconsequential things, so that you can really, really focus on living the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you're destined to serve. Aboraboye, aboshishe.